All right, the United States faces extraordinary challenges these days, and former Republican House Speaker Newt Gingrich is talking about it all in his brand new book.
Well, the book is called March to the Majority, the real story of the Republican Revolution. He shares never-before-told stories, gives his first-hand account of the rise of modern conservatism. He's joining us now, former House Speaker and New York Times bestselling author, Newt Gingrich. Nice to have you back on
Great to be here.
The book is fascinating, but I got to ask you, how would you describe the state of the Republican Party today?
Well, cheerfully enthusiastic. I mean, think about all the candidates you got. I was just with Tim Scott the other night. You got Nikki Haley. You just got a whole bunch of new candidates this week. I mean, in terms of recruiting people, getting them out there, getting them talking, I think we're in okay shape.
But the front runner is Donald Trump, as you know, and he leads by a pretty big margin. As you know, he's under indictment. He's got several investigations currently underway. Can he survive this and run?
Probably. I mean, look, he's a phenomenon. From the time he came down the big escalator, he has not fit any model of American politics. He's truly unique. And, you know, whether you're talking about some of the great icons of the past, I mean, the Beatles or you name it, whoever you like, there are certain things that are just different. And Trump is different. He's probably going to be indicted, but he's going to be indicted in Washington, D.C., which is a town where he got 5% of the vote.
Yeah.
And that means 19 out of every 20 jurors is anti-Trump. I mean, the average American is going to say it's a rigged game.
He could get indicted in Georgia as well.
He could, although it's very unlikely, I think.
We'll see how that plays out, but I do want to get your take on what's going on with the Democratic Party, because, I mean, I think it was just a couple months ago, Monmouth polls showed that nearly half of Democrats did not want President Biden to run for re-election in 2024. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, part of it's the story you just said about Connecticut. I mean, they look at a party which is now so committed to a set of values and a set of interest groups that don't relate to the average American. And I think, and then they look at the economy, which is the real thing killing Biden. I mean, you go out and you go grocery shopping, you fill up your car, you look for a better job. And the numbers on Biden personally are devastating now. There was a poll that just came out from a British group where they said, what should be better for America's future, for Putin to leave office or for Biden to leave office? And by 59%, they picked Biden.
Wow.
I mean, if you're the incumbent president and 59% of your country thinks it would be good for you to leave, you have a problem.
Look, I think polls we can read it in multiple different ways, but one thing you can't read in a different way is someone supporting a president. And I think the big blow to Biden recently was Jack Dorsey, Twitter founder and billionaire, who tweeted out the video of the president falling last week on stage and saying, open the Democratic primaries, this isn't fair to anyone. Do you think that the Democratic primaries, we could have a debate there possibly?
Well, look, I think Biden's probably not going to run in the end. I mean, I think you watch him every week, he's slightly weaker, he's slightly more confused. But in addition, I mean, what's happening here in the city? When the mayor says, we have so many illegal immigrants, I'd like each of you to take a few into your house. And by the way, if I'm legally allowed to, I'm going to take them in a Gracie mansion. Well, that's not a solution. I mean, more people come across the border every day than you can house in private homes. And guess who's in charge? Joe Biden.
Right.
And so at some point, all this stuff comes together. And you look at great cities like San Francisco that are literally collapsing. I mean, the quality of life in San Francisco, which is one of our great cities, has just become a disaster. And so they look around and they go, you know, you ask people, are you happy with where things are? And you get about 80% say no.
Can we talk about the book, March to the Majority?
Bless you.
You talk about all your experiences, your relationships with past presidents. Of course, we remember your relationship with Bill Clinton during the impeachment process of Monica Lewinsky. When you look back at these things, do you think you would have done anything differently?
Oh, sure. I've done a lot of things differently. You know, and I think, for example, that the real issue with Clinton was that he had lied under oath, which is a felony. And he knew it. He's a Yale-educated lawyer, rather than sex. I think by making it about sex, you actually trivialized it. And people thought, what do you guys do? But I'd also point out, I mean, Clinton and I worked together constantly. He signed welfare reform, bringing work back into the system. The best increase in children leaving poverty in American history was the welfare bill. He signed the biggest tax cut for capital gains in history, and he signed 4 consecutive balanced budgets. So we had ways that somehow we managed to compartmentalize, and we had ways we could sit down and talk to each other, and then ways we go over here and fight, and then we come back and sit down and talk to each other. And that's what you've got to be. I mean, Speaker McCarthy did that recently. He was able to negotiate with Biden in a way that people didn't think was possible, and get an agreement. And so I think you've got to be able to both stand for what you believe in and figure out some way that the other person has a reason to say yes. And part of the reason I wrote March the Majority is it's a playbook for right now. It's not just history. But the stuff we did, the lessons we learned, took 16 years. And then the 4 years we spent negotiating with Clinton, I think provides specific lessons for the current generation that says this is how you can get things done. And I think we can get back to a balanced budget. I think we can solve the problem of illegal immigration. And Cliff and I are working on a new series called Journey to America, where we have legal immigrants who tell their stories because they bring so much to the country. And we want to make clear that you can be concerned about the border without in any way being against people who come here and bring great talent to America.
Well, the book is fascinating. It's out right now. The Real Story of the Republican Revolution, March to the Majority, Newt Gingrich. Always great to have you here on Good Day New York. Thank you so much. Congratulations.